So, here we go. We are loaded in whirlwind cross-spawn positions as well, Lurlian. That is always fun, and that should mean that we get a bit of a longer game. It is going to be a PvT. That's exciting as well. Do you like PvT as a matchup, Lurlian?
Yeah, it's my favorite matchup, actually. It's the most fun to watch, in my opinion. Ghosts, Storms, Snipes, EMPs, Colossi positioning, Blinkstalkers trying to snipe the Vikings getting in a position where the Blinkstalkers cannot snipe them. It is a lot of fun, and even the cheesy situations can be funny. You know, Blinkstalker micro off of one base against a Terran who expanded can be really tense to watch. I love this matchup. I can't wait to get this started.
It should be really good. So let's get into this and introduce the two players spawning down in the bottom right position. We have a green Protoss player. Some of you may have heard of him. He is so good, he has his name twice up on that bar at the top there with his clan tag and his name. It is the one, the only, probably the most liked person in Starcraft, Grubby. And his opponent spawning in the top left. We have got the orange Terran player. Very keen, as both of these are, to get through to the later stages of this bracket. Secure a spot in the Premier Division of WCS EU if they are able. He's from Team Acer. It's Hydra.
Yep, Hydra managing to get here through qualifier number 3 that he was able to finish top 2 in, or top 4, excuse me, and he was able to beat a lot of good players on his way there. He was able to beat the likes of the Korean player Daisy, and also another really good Terran player, Nama, that he just took out without much of an effort. On the other side of the map, Grubby has taken a bit of a different path, unfortunately for him. He was in Group G in Premier League, but that group proved to be, a little bit too hard for him. He was in a group with Kras, Stefano, and Baby Knight. That's a difficult group, and he finished
third. That is
third.
a difficult group. I wouldn't want to be in that group. I wouldn't want to be in any of the groups, to be fair. I think I would come bottom of all of them. But yeah, at the moment, we've just got fairly standard openings from both these two players. At the moment, we've got the barracks with a reactor coming down for Hydra, who's going to go and start up his command center at his natural base as soon as he hits that 400 mineral mark. At the same time, over at Grubby's base, we've got his mothership core on its way. He's got a very specific 5 probes in gas. That is a very specific number, isn't it, Lurlian? It has gone up to 6 now. But he's got his cyber core, he's got his gateway. He is not producing a zealot, he's just getting a mothership core out, and he is happily getting his nexus.
Yeah, playing it very safely, starting the mothership core and getting some additional gas, therefore delaying his nexus by a couple of seconds as the SCV comes in here, sees the mothership core, sees the nexus go down, knows there's 2 gases out on the field, and at the same time Grubby is able to scout everything that Hydra was doing because he did not have a supply depot lifted. So the probe is in the main base and we'll be able to see there was enough gas mined for a reactor, and after that the workers were pulled out of the gas.
So good scouting information coming down here for Grubby. Meanwhile, Hydra, he's seen a good little bit of what Grubby had going on. He saw the Nexus, and let's face it, that's the important thing. But, oh, look at this. We have got a very, very nice Stargate on its way down. Good opening from Grubby. Do you reckon this Stargate is going to be able to do some nice damage, Lurlian? It isn't proxied or anything like that. It's just sitting there in the main base. It's ready.
I like the way that, how you say, a very nice Stargate. It's like, this Stargate is nicer than some of the other Stargates we've seen going down. It's like, oh my god,
like
this is a particularly beautiful Stargate. Man,
it's the way the shadows are going. It's got nice reflections on it. It just looks really pretty, okay? I like that Stargate.
This is a really fine specimen.
Yes, it is. Just like you are, Lurlian. Of course, we've also got this robotics facility coming down here for Grubby. We've got 2 more barracks following up here for Hydra. And these two, well, Grubby's, he's teching up. He's just like, I want all of the tech. He's probably going to pump observers out. I'm interested to see what's going to come from the Stargate, though. And it's going to be an Oracle. Ooh, Oracle play. This is always fun. It can melt your mineral line if it gets in there. But it can also get denied pretty easily, can't it?
Yes, it can. If that Oracle is in a bad position, it goes down really, really quickly. Oracle's really powerful. You need 5 Marines to be able to kill an Oracle, so at least 5. Sometimes 6, depends on the situation, who fires first, and in what arc the Marines are positioned in. But as you can see, Hydra has 6 Marines in position in his main base, so he's not taking any risks. He's got plenty of Marines there to deal with that Oracle, and at his expansion, We can see he's got a few Marines there. He's starting to accumulate more, but as of right now, there's only 3 of them there, but 4 more in the bunker, 3 more joining up. So he's safe at every front right now. 6 at his main, 6 at his main, 6 in his natural, 4 in a bunker. Hydra's good.
Yep, Hydra's fine. This Oracle is going to do very little, if anything at all, so that's getting shut down quite nicely here. Grubby's follow-up to this, he's getting on 2 additional gateways and going straight up to Colossus tech. There's that robotics base starting. Really solid play. He's teching heavily. He's reliant on just keeping his opponent back.
The Oracle away. The Oracle's
no.
getting into the main mineral line right now and getting quite a lot of kills here. 7 kills on this Oracle, way more than was necessary. Grubby getting some harassment damage down there. Oh man, Hydra's going to be feeling bad about that. He had his Marines in the perfect position, and just as he decided to move them, the Oracle flew in and killed 7 workers.
Yeah, 7 workers going down to when you already had Marines sitting there, ready to defend against that, until the moment the Oracle comes in. It's always going to be painful. We've got the missile turrets coming down, the starport on its way. The robotics bay is about to complete for Grubby as well, so this is where he can start teching up really heavily. The Oracle is going to try and poke its way into the natural base, but with a missile turret there, it is not going to be able to achieve any of that, and the Oracle is forced straight back out again. Looking here, though, we have got the first Colossus on its way. Stim is about to finish up, +1 infantry weapons and combat shield are also on their way. Hydra, is he going to go for just a nice timing window, or is he just going to try and tech up a bit further?
Oh well, you know Terran players, they love to hit their double medevac timing with Stim and possibly a combat shields finished up, so we might see Hydra do that. Grubby's Oracle is going to stay around and try to scout a little bit more, as the first observer has made its way into the main base too. So Grubby has seen everything, seen the timing of the Stargate, seen the timing of the reactor, and knows exactly when those medevacs are going to be hitting his main base, which would be in about 2 minutes. The Oracle trying to find angles to do some harassment damage. It does find an angle to do some damage to a single SCV, but doesn't quite get a kill.
This is the scary thing, though. What's coming across the center of the map at the moment? We've got a good number of Marines with combat shield, with Stim. Concussive shell is also near completion. The first few medevacs hitting the field. Grubby needs to be a little cautious here. There is a single Colossus down. A second one is getting chrono boosted out. Extended thermal lance has only just been started, though. That means that these Colossi do not outrange the Marauders.
They do not. Oh, that Colossus is going to be pretty vulnerable. The force fields are going to have to be really good here by Grubby. But on the other hand, that Colossus is probably enough to scare Hydra back in itself, because he's got such a marine-heavy composition, it's going to be difficult for him. The Oracle is back at home, who's now an instructor with 10 kills, and the second Colossus is, now halfway done. So we'll be able to join up with his buddy. Double upgrades coming out. Very standard build here by Grubby, going for double forge and a very quick Colossi play to deal with the medevac timing that Terran players love to hit.
Yeah, it's a nice little timing window, but Grubby, he's in a safe position. He's got his Twilight Council coming down as well, ready to start 2-2 upgrades straight away. Extended Thermal Lance nearing completion. That's when he starts feeling a lot more safe, especially when his Colossus count gets higher. Once you start getting 3-4 Colossi out, you can really deal with any infantry push quite nicely, especially before you get some Vikings. And currently, there aren't any Vikings out. There's none in production. Hydra just being quite cautious, and that could run him into a little bit of problems, because if you don't get those Vikings out, those Colossi are going to hit some really nice windows. And Grubby already starting the tech switch. He's got his Templar Archives on its way, but this third does get cancelled. Nice little push in there from Hydra. That's precisely what he needs to be doing. And he also gets a scan and sees only a single Colossus there.
Yeah, only a single Colossus there, because the rest of them is in the main base. Grubby's trying to fool his opponents a little bit, but at the same time, that those Colossi are there to be extremely safe against the drops. They will not be able to achieve anything there. Hydra, does he have a firm grasp on the situation? Does he know his opponent is committing that heavily to Colossi? Because a fourth Colossus is now hitting the field, which is more than you would usually see. Usually you'd see the tech switch occur after a 1, 2, or 3 Colossi, but 4, that's definitely an exception.
Yeah, it's a nice position to be in, and with Sonic Storm also just getting research now, this just means that Grubby, he's getting all of the late game pieces to his puzzle. He wants to secure that third. We saw that before it was cancelled after the push in from Hydra. But Hydra, he's just sitting there. He's got 3 orbital commands. He's floating it down towards his third base now. So everything is going in the right direction. That's what he's ultimately hoping for, is secure that third base, tech up. I can't really engage Grubby at the moment. I don't have the Viking count for it. I need to be ready for the tech switch into those high Templar that we're seeing hit now. And once Hydra gets all of those units out, it all comes down to composition. The Ghost balance, the Viking balance, and also the engagement angles. And that's what he's going to be aiming for in these later stages.
Yeah, relatively passive play out of both players. Grubby is trying to take a third base, but he is failing to do so. Hydra is shutting them down constantly with drop play, so this might trigger some kind of a push out of Grubby. If you get stuck on 2 bases for too long, as Protoss, you're gonna have to do something eventually, and he will have a really good timing with Storm, with 2-2. He might want to try and get something done here. Or he's just going to use the timing of his upgrades and the high Colossi count to establish himself at third base, which is what it looks like. He feels safe enough right now to move into the middle of the map, take his third, but it is significantly later than the third base of Hydra.
But the thing is, as you touched on, that is a later third base, but he's got a nice little timing window, especially with those upgrades just finishing up 2-2, about to kick in a lot sooner than Ace's Hydra's getting his down. And if Grubby does go for a nice little timing push, it wouldn't be too bad, because currently there isn't a single Ghost down. The Ghost Academy is only just finishing at the moment. That just means that, yeah, High Templar, they're going to have a fun time. Admittedly, the Viking count isn't that huge either. Only going to be 7 after the 2 in production complete. But Grubby, he is going to start moving across the map with 2-2. This could be a really nice push for him, Lurlian.
With 2-2 and 32 Zealots. Wow, what a Zealot-heavy army composition coming out of the Dutch Protoss player here. And Hydra has been anticipating this. He has some, and with some I mean two Hellbats in his army composition, which is a little bit on the low side to deal with this many Zealots. He doesn't have the Ghosts, just that the Ghosts are in production. Amazing for a Storm coming out of Grubby here. He's melting the left portion of the army. The Vikings now coming in, but they are a little bit late. Do we have enough Stalkers to deal with the Vikings in time? It looks like we might. The Colossi taking some direct fire from the Marines and Marauders on the ground, but the Zealots are still doing so much damage to the economy and the units of Hydra in the back. 3 Colossi still left alive, with only 2 Vikings left standing. I think Grubby just straight out won this game and broke his opponent with this single engagement.
Yeah, he's just miles ahead in terms of supply now. He's still got those 2 Colossi up. His third base is secured. Hydra knows it. GG out, and game 1 goes to Grubby.